Hello and good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 445. Hey, we're getting close to 450. That's going to come on when Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Christmas Eve is going to be episode 450. Holy cow, I'm going to have to do a Christmas shave this week. Um, and I think I mentioned this maybe last Sunday that I've the last like several weeks I haven't worn my Chicago Bears hoodie on game day Sunday. Here I am, Bears hoodie. I checked the schedule this morning. What time do the Bears play? Freaking Monday night. Why are the Bears on Monday night? Ugh. You're treating the nation. You're treating the nation to Chicago Bears football on Monday night. By the way, speaking of, I don't even know what channel Monday Night Football's on anymore. Is it ESPN still? I don't know. Back in the day when Hank Williams Jr., back in that day, are you ready for some football? Like one of the soundtracks to my childhood. Of course, it was on ABC. Speaking of it, ESPN though, well, and ABC, it's ABC owned. I have YouTube TV, and they no longer have ABC, my local ABC channel. They no longer have ESPN or any of the ESPNs. So ABC Family with like the good, not cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies, which I love. So none of that's on YouTube TV because there's a dispute now. Fortunately, YouTube TV is decreasing their monthly subscription price down like $15. It went from I think $65 to $50. We got the email Friday. I had all these channels, and then Saturday I didn't even know we received the email from YouTube TV, and it's like, hey, this is what's going on. Your bill's gonna go down from $65 to $50 per month. Merry Christmas. So that sucks. So I guess if it is on ESPN or ABC or whatever, if it's ABC, ESPN owned, won't be able to watch it anyway. What's up, Herman? Good morning. Herman had all the grandkids together in one sitting. That was awesome to see. Thanks for sharing that. So Bears and Vikings. Thankful that Michael Pittman had a crap game last night for the Colts. I'm going up head-to-head against him on a team in fantasy football, quarterfinals of the playoffs, which helped me increase my odds of winning this matchup with I have my defenses played and Michael Pittman on his team has played. So I'm a 51% chance of winning per Yahoo as the number 8 seed going against the number 1 seed. So I've got Darnell Mooney in my starting lineup. But it's like, am I going to I essentially, I don't follow like football as closely as like I'm not into, and if I kind of go by the guide of, okay, who's going to score more points. And then I just and then there's a little bit of, okay, well, the Bears kind of suck. They're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's okay. I've got Devin Singletary on the bench, who's projected to score like one more point than Mooney. They play Carolina. So sometimes I look in Devin Singletary, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of depends. So I'll look into that more. And nobody wants to hear me talk about fantasy football anymore, or ever. Disney raised their price and YouTube refused to pay for the rights. LOL. Still sitting here with 2. Very cool. Yeah, and that sucks. And I'm pretty sure the same thing happened to USA Network because I don't get Monday Night Raw either. And it's all of a sudden it's like, what? But to be honest, I don't watch USA. I don't. I do watch a lot of ESPN and ABC channels, so that's kind of annoying. And hopefully, actually, now that I think about it, I'm looking forward to watching NBA basketball on Christmas Day. Now I've got to go Google this because I'm going to be pissed if those are ABC games. NBA on Christmas Day. Hopefully, it's TNT. Those channels. Oh, you got to be kidding me. All of the freaking NBA Christmas games are on ESPN and ABC. You son of a biscuit. Unbelievable. Freaking YouTube TV. That just ruined my morning. Ruined my morning like some a-hole on eBay ruined my night last night. Actually, it didn't ruin my night. It gave me some good content on Twitter. So more eBay talk. I ended up listing a few cards on eBay last night. LOL, YouTube TV sucks. They do now. I loved it until now, because I didn't care if they lost USA or some of the other channels they've lost here. But now they really suck. Now they pissed me off. So I did list some cards on eBay last night. I listed maybe 75 cards on eBay. So I listed just a bunch of random baseball. I found a stack of some cool, like, just random baseball cards. A lot from like the 80s and 90s, which I've been listing a lot of more current stuff. And it's like, man, I kind of miss listing 82 tops George Brett, 84 tops Nolan Ryan. And those seem to sell well. So I found, and there were some old Dave Parkers from the early 80s and 89 Upper Deck Nolan Ryan. So just some random stuff, and some of it has moved already, so that's cool. So listed about 75, 80 cards on eBay last night. Did shipping yesterday. I wasn't I finally got organized. My baseball up until what I listed Friday and Saturday are organized. So that kind of slowed my shipping down yesterday because I was finishing up getting all of my boxes organized. And so these are both 5-row boxes of baseball from. So this is 1950s through 2000, half of 2019, and then this box is only 2019 and 2020, and then I've got a 4-row box that's half, it's 2 rows. Actually, no, 3 rows of 2021. So that's what I did yesterday. Last night received an eBay message, and this is just it's funny because as I posted this, it's like I just talked about this, being like there's got to be more to this. There's always more to the story. So and I didn't even think about that until this morning as I'm like just kind of replaying everything. Because some people were asking, well, was it pictured in a top loader? Was it before I get into the so anyway, what happened was I had a 99 cents free shipping sale. Pete Rose 2012 Leaf Pete Rose card sold for 99 cents, free shipping. And then as I went back and looked at the transaction, the buyer sent a message, and I like rarely read those messages. And now I guess I should now. Usually they're just like thanks or hey, thanks for accepting my offer, like 95% of the time. But every once in a while, here's the 5% where it said, please ship in top loader, thanks. It was like 2 sentences. It was 2 or 3 sentences. It was longer than normal, the normal messages. And when I get shipping, like I don't read that stuff because I'm like, shipping fast. So anyway, so the person reaches out, sends me a like, and it's okay. There's no damage to the card. And the message was, should have had this pulled up initially. So the message was, you send me this card in a card saver, not a top loader, like you said. I'm giving you negative feedback tomorrow unless you text me that you're sending a top loader. He's holding negative feedback over my head. It's like a hostage situation. If you don't send a dirty used top loader in the next 24 hours, I'm going to leave you negative feedback. Come on, man. Are you effing kidding me? No damage to the card. Okay, and now here's where you have to dig deeper. The card was pictured raw. Most of my cards are pictured either raw or in a penny sleeve. Now that doesn't mean now here you go. The people that if it's pictured in a one touch, it should come in a one touch. Well, it's pictured raw. Should it come raw? So it's pictured raw. All of my cards are sent inside a penny sleeve, inside a card saver or top loader. Now in the description, I don't say it's shipped in a card saver. I don't say it's shipped in a top loader. It just says shipped PWE. So Jenny says buyers cannot use feedback against you. You're exactly right. So if he does decide to leave me negative feedback, I'll just snapshot that, send it to eBay, and they will take that feedback. They will take that negative feedback quickly. When I reported a negative feedback to eBay, and I talked about this yesterday or Friday, they took it down within like an hour. This is what's called feedback extortion. What's annoying is, I mean, the tone. I hate when people come at you all aggressively in their tone. It's like, communicate like an adult. So that number one, that ticks me off. B, there's no damage to the card. There was nothing in the description says it's going to be shipped in a top loader, one touch, card saver, penny sleeve, raw, whatever. So I don't know where he got that. Just because he tells me that he in a message that I don't see until after the fact. So this all just grinds my gears. So I messaged him back, and I bought cards from you before with a top loader. Thanks. Why I saved your store. You saved my store because I send in cards in top loaders? Like, really? So 7 gigantic cases of card savers. Moving forward, all of my ship in a card saver so you can unsave my store. And he also went on the ACIA-13 is the eBay user. You can find it on my Twitter, ACIA-13. He's on my blocked list, and he was a repeat customer, but he buys 99-cent free shipping cards and then bitches when he gets them in a card saver, not a top loader, no damage. So then somebody this morning, and this I won't call him out because I called him out on Twitter, but he comes at me with his first message. The line that got me was, where was it? Was it this message? Don't sell cards unless you intend to protect them for your. I would never show you easy to be damaged. Don't sell cards unless you intend to protect them for your customers. So then I went to this guy's eBay. His link is in his profile, so he's just opening right up. So I click on his eBay link, and what do I know? It's a Christmas miracle. He has 958 positives, 12 neutrals, and 10 negatives. So I was an a-hole, and I said, maybe you should focus on your own customers, with a screenshot of his feedback. And I talked about my feedback yesterday, so I'm transparent about that. So that was petty on my part, but I don't give a crap. He again, it's all about how you communicate. He wants to come at me like that, I'll come at him like the way he communicates. That was not adult on my part, but I don't give a crap. Jenny says I had an eBayer buy 3 cards and message me that I need to refund ship cost difference because it will only cost X amount in PWE. I'm sure I'm happy to, but don't expect buyers. Remember, they're buying the card, not the supplies. I use used card savers. If people want my new prices, would have exactly. The thing is, and here's the thing about this transaction. This particular transaction, the Pete Rose 99-cent card, if I would have shipped it in a top loader, it would have been a used top loader that's like 8 cents. It was shipped in a brand new card saver, and these are like 13 or 14 cents. Now I get them at wholesale prices, but retail used top loader, he got better value. Now let's go to the part of card savers and protection. Now, what's up, Diego? So card savers are actually better to ship in PWE because they're not as rigid, especially if it's a thicker top loader. They can get caught in the machines, and guess what? If it says non-machine, and none of my stuff goes non-machine, if you pay that extra 20 cents, guess what? Sometimes it goes in a machine. I'm sorry to break that news. It doesn't always not go through a machine. So when it does go through a machine, sometimes the top loader, and I've had times where I've received PWEs where it's been, you could tell where the top loader messed it up. And it's because of the rigidity of the top loader in those machines. It's less likely, and I've never had cards, and I've shipped, a couple thousand now in card savers, far more in top loaders, but now I'm doing card savers. I haven't had one report of damage because of the card saver. Now, I've had damage in PWEs, but again, the damage in the PWEs, and it's a very small amount. In fact, if you go and look, I've probably had the same amount of damaged cards in a PWE that I have in a bubble mailer, and 85% of my shipments are PWE. So we're talking, out of let's just say out of 1,000 shipments per month, it's a little more than that, but just easy round number. Out of 1,000 shipments, 850 go PWE, 150 go bubble mailer, and I've had more, and it's actually probably 90-10. And I've had more damage in bubble mailers than I have in PWE. In fact, I'm meeting up with a former in-person trader, and we met up pre-COVID. He's Kurt in Minnesota. He's driving down to, I think, over to Michigan for Christmas with his family. And so we met up 2 years ago around the holidays, did an in-person trade. We're talking about Pearl Jam, and I'm like, hey, I've got some unopened Pearl Jam packs, and I'll ship them over to you. And they he sent me a picture, and they were absolutely destroyed in a bubble mailer. Like the entire package just looked like it had been through a war zone. I mean, it was crazy. So the percentage, you're more likely to have damaged goods inside a bubble mailer than you are inside a penny sleeve. And really the bubble mailer in this particular instance didn't matter how much. I mean, you would have had to send it in a box, and then it's like, are you going to send every cards that you in a box instead of a bubble mailer? No, it's just it's not feasible. So that's my soapbox. Let's get back to the chat, and back to something Jenny said. Buyers need to remember they're buying the card, not the supplies. Absolutely. I'm a staunch proponent. And I see so many people get pissed off if it's pictured in a one touch and it's not sent in a one touch. And I know I'm probably in the minority when I'm thinking, I don't give a shit about the one touch. Like, I'm buying the card. So I apologize. I think Herman has some kids, so I'll stop cursing. And hopefully Porter's not listening either. I don't care about the one touch. Like, I'm buying the card, and it's kind of like the shipping cost. I don't care what the postage I'm paying. Now, I personally take into account if I'm buying, if there's a card listed for $5 and the shipping is $5, and I value that card at $10, I don't care if it comes in a PWE. And people say, well, I paid $5 for shipping, they should refund me $4. I valued that card at $10. I hit buy it now. That means I don't give a crap if it's coming in a plain white envelope or a bubble mailer. As long as it gets to me in the condition I purchased it, I'm cool. It's a $10 card. I paid $10. I don't care if they send it overnight express priority or in a plain white envelope with an old stamp. I paid $10. I got what I received in the condition. Boom, positive feedback. We're good to go. Now, I'm not saying as a seller, I would never do that. And I'm not saying it's right. But as a buyer, we have to take some responsibility that, hey, it may or may not come unless it's, if it's not explicitly stated, hey, you're going to get this card in a bubble mailer. If it doesn't say that, that's on you. Sometimes, in many cases, buyers have to take responsibility. The customer isn't always right. If people want to save money on shipping dollars or less cards, then SportLots is a better avenue than eBay. Spend the time teaching yourself how to navigate SportLots. eBay is convenience buy. It absolutely is. And I never, ever would have thought 2 years ago, that I could move some of the cards that I'm moving. 99 cents free shipping. Yeah, it's minimal on the margin, but if somebody wants to buy 10 cards, then boom, it comes up. And those cards can be found on SportLots for 18 cents. Now, it's a little clunky, and you do have to, like Zach says, you do have to navigate, put a little time into learning how to navigate and find those discounts on shipping, but it can be done, and you can save some money by doing so. But yeah, eBay's totally a convenience buy. And the thing about sport lots is most people in the hobby actually don't even know about sport lots. I know our inner circle, people that are watching this, people in hobby Twitter know about sport lots, but that's a small person. And I think Dan, Korean Cardboard, mentioned in the string about this particular transaction, uh, um, about like generally people don't know about hobby Twitter or social media. Like that, we're a very small niche group in the grand hobby scheme. You go to a card show, and I when I go to card shows, I always ask, hey, are you on Twitter? Are you on social media? And like 90% of the people I ask and talk to, they're like, oh no, I have a Facebook, just I'm never on it. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, and I know it's hard to believe, like within our circle, like we are so social media engaged that in we kind of have blinders on that. And I do myself. Like I'm like, hey, what's your Twitter? Oh, I don't have Twitter. Oh, are you on Instagram? No, I don't have Instagram. Oh, I have a Facebook, but I just use it for like baby pictures and stuff. So it's most people don't know about. So the people that don't know hobby Twitter and hobby Facebook and social media. I mean, a lot of people within those circles are like, "What's sport lots?" And I think a lot of people learn it just from being introduced to these social media platforms and in the hobby communities themselves. And they're like, oh, sport lots. Oh, this is kind of cool. And some people love it, get into it. Zach really loves it, got into it when he returned to the hobby. And other people find it clunky and hard to navigate. And it is, unless you spend the time to actually, dig through it and take the time to learn it. Jenny says bubble mailers fall out of boxes, get thrown in boxes, get run over by a forklift tire. And I think that's what happened. It looked like the package that I'm talking about that Kurt got, my Pearl Jam cards. It looked like it had been thrown, like at every person that handled it threw it against a wall. And then to top it off, it got ran over by a forklift. And then they did like a burnout. It had tired. I mean, it was ridiculous. It looked absolutely crazy. Let's see. I had to get more coffee and forgot to hit enter. Jenny says I bought a $17 card with free shipping, came PWE. Ad didn't say bubble mailer, so seller got positive feedback and comment as of described because it was. Yeah. Anything under $20, I like almost expect anything under $20 to come plain white envelope. No matter what. If people do charge $4 or $5 and ship PWE, that's bad, but I'm not going to hold it against them because again, I have a price in mind. This is what I'm willing to pay. And I'm paying for the card. I'm not paying for a brand new shiny top loader. I'm not paying for a one touch. I'm not paying for the how it's shipped. As long as it gets to me in the condition I ordered it, that's all I care about. People are so consumed with, I need a top loader. Well, you're going to get a freaking yellow old used top loader because it's 99 cents free shipping. I'm sorry. You're buying the card. The top loader is not part of the transaction. It's just to get it to you safely, or the card saver, whatever it is. And I wish more people understood that. It's almost daily you see it somewhere where people are complaining about not getting the one touch, not getting the top loader, overpaying on shipping. Soapbox Day, Soapbox Sunday. Diego says I'm a sport lots person, especially auctions. I'm impatient, and I don't know if I haven't really navigated sport lots in a while. I used to, I tried some auctions long ago, like 5+ years ago. And I think it's one of those styles where, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it like it has an end date, but then if there's bids within, it's like kind of like auction houses where there's extended, like you get your bid in and then you can go into extended bidding. And then I want like a set, like eBay auctions. I want 7 days and I know it's going to end next Sunday at 9:12 a.m. And if I'm the high bidder, I win. If I'm not, I lose. So the extended bidding auctions, unless it's something I really, really want and think I can get a good price, then I'm okay with them. But in general, 3-day waivers, that's what it was. So it's a little different than the extended bidding. But I'm impatient like that. So And I know, I think Brad, Texas Card Dude, I think he's done some Sport Lots auctions, got some good deals. So maybe I'll check it out. Let's see. So I think that's all I had for today. So today, no Bears football, despite me wearing my, I get it just, it when they do play on Sundays, I don't wear it. when they, when they don't play on Sundays, I wear the shirt. So today, big shipping day, because I was kind of focused on organization yesterday, got behind on shipping. So I'm at like 115, 116, 116 items to ship. So it's going to be like all day shipping. I'm going to meet Kurt. He's got some Cubs. He's like, I don't want anything in return. So pick up some Cubs today. And that's about it. It is Christmas week. So I feel like I have to open something this week. And I don't know. I guess there's more baseball products on shelves now. So my mom, like usually, and even before COVID, when there was like usually in December, there's like no baseball on the shelves because it's all of the retail baseball products have been long released. But now we've kind of creeped further and further. Now we're in the COVID. Well, I guess we're still in the middle of COVID. And there's a lot of baseball products. So, and that's what I told my mom. I'm like, gift cards and baseball cards. That's all I want. So, kind of like I was 12 again or 10. So I'll probably have at least something to open on Christmas Day. But leading into Christmas, I've got some Bowman mega boxes. Maybe I'll open one. I've got several Bowman Chrome mega boxes, several Bowman mega boxes. I think I'm low on Bowman mega boxes, so maybe I'll just save those. I don't know, but I do need to open something. I bought those Topps Update 2020. Those are kind of a long-term hold, but maybe I'll just go find something at retail just to kind of satiate my appetite. Did I say that right? Satiate my appetite. Zach says Porter asked why you were wearing your hoodie if they didn't play. He is not afraid to hold you accountable. I know. But I'll wear, well, tomorrow's Monday, so I only wear hoodies on Fridays during the week. So maybe I'll put it on tomorrow night for the game. If I can. I don't think I can watch it though. Fantasy football playoffs. Woohoo. Yeah, I touched on that at the very beginning. I'm in a Yahoo league, so they have the projections. I'm the number 8 seed going against the number 1 seed. I'm a 51% chance of winning because my opponent had Michael Pittman, who didn't do anything last night. So what's up, Low Roller Scratcher? Extended bidding like penny auctions. You can buy cheap TVs and PlayStation 5 like $15. Okay. So number 2 seed for Diego. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I had my strategy going in was the 2 top quarterbacks, and that just kind of, it actually, I mean, in some weeks it kind of helped me. And then others, it hurt me. What really hurt was just Saquon Barkley being out. Mike Evans, Tampa, has been like he'll have a 3 touchdown game and then like 2 targets the next game. Saquon missed a lot of time. Chase Claypool missed some time. DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson early on were 2 of my big guys. Now they're both on the bench. So it's been up and down. Kelsey, 65 points. Taylor, 55 points. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. I sold all my Jonathan Taylor cards last night, so I assumed he did something last night. Let's see. Average is 22. What's up, peeps? Good morning. Low Roller says Tom Brady will be out due to COVID list. So if Brady is out, that hurts Mike Evans. Were postponed due to COVID this week. So, and fortunately, I think neither me or my opponent have we don't have anybody on those teams that are out with COVID. So that was like, oh my God. Games, first week of the fantasy football playoffs, and we've got games canceled or postponed. So that's what I had for today. Just a lot of shipping on the books for today. Back at it tomorrow. So hopefully I can get caught up. My version of caught up on shipments, and then I can focus on. I went through a box and found a stack of maybe 274 Topps baseball. So I've I've got a bunch of 71 Topps baseball, a bunch of 73 Topps baseball in my eBay store. And actually, I did have a bunch of 74 Topps, but I've sold a ton of those. So I've got another 200 that I found. So I'll be putting those in the eBay store probably Monday. I'll do that. So, oh, by the way, anybody listing on eBay on your phone on the app, because something changed like within the last couple days. So now when I go to list, and it's slowing me down. And so when I go to list a card, so let's go to list an item, it doesn't give me the full amount of characters that you could list an item and do the entire, like you have 80 characters on a listing title. So I've got a Bowman Spencer Howard next to me, 2021 Bowman. Let's say it's number 100. Spencer Howard, and I'm typing this in, rookie, RC, and then that it only gives me, I think, 50 or 60 characters. So then I have to hit go. I have to do a bunch of extra clicks, view possible matches, and then I have to go create a new listing. Okay, it's used, and then sometimes it freezes at this point. Go back, create a new listing, used, and then it pops up. So it's like it's already, this is like 10 seconds. And then I have to go back and I have to finish the title. It only gives you 41 characters at the initial listing. So I don't know. I think it's trying to steer you toward using their templates. I don't know. But if anybody is using the eBay app, so it's slow. So I haven't, like, I was sitting on the couch and it's like, it's a pain in the ass to list on the app now, because I have to go through all of these extra clicks, and sometimes it doesn't take and I have to hit back. So yeah. Low Roller says, why don't you post eBay link in your description? We can see your eBay store. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. And I should probably do that more often on like all of my, let's see, copy link address and paste. So there's the eBay store link. Let's see. DR says, morning, Bo. On my way to Mass, about to fill up little lending library with team bags of sports cards and listening to 1 Million Cubs. What a great Sunday. Good morning to you. Thanks for checking in. Peep says, you ever think about doing an auction on YouTube? I have not. I like to streamline everything on one platform, and that's eBay. It just, and I think yesterday I talked about this, just the CRM alone, keeping everything. It's just so easy when you start doing stack sales and auctions, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook. It can be very cluttered and hard to, dig through the weeds. And eBay's like, I can list really quick. Everything's there. Buy it now price. Now I've opened it up to best offers, which sometimes can slow me down. I had a bunch of $1.50 cards, and so here's the thing with offers. So all of my cards, just because I'm having to spend an extra 15 cents because I'm using the standard envelope as opposed to my old discounted stamps. The price of volume bulk stamps has gone up. So no badminton cards. So now, I'm not doing the 99 cent because I'd be taking, it's basically, I think, like a 5-cent loss if it's a single 99 cent. Now, if somebody buys 2 cards, then I'm in the profit. And then obviously the more people buy, the higher that profit margin goes. But on single sales, and I'm seeing that a lot, and that's actually why I kind of slowed things down back in March. Even though I offer the volume discounts, not many people were taking advantage. A large majority were just single card sales. So it's limiting that profit margin. So where was I going with this? The best offers. So Rick McCarty, new listener and watcher here, found your site yesterday. Rick, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. I saw tennis shake my head. Yeah, I have a lot of tennis cards from 2007, Ace Authentic. So with the best offers, it can be, I've raised the floor of my pricing from 99 cents free shipping to $1.50 free shipping. But if somebody comes along and sends offers on 20 cards, I'll give them a great discount. I'll get down to that dollar price point if in bulk. But if it's only like 4 or 5, I'm going to stick to like $1.25. I'm not going to go to $1 because, if it's 7, 8 cards, now I'm in, borderline bubble mailer territory. And so that just kind of negates everything. So I had one where it was a bunch of $1.50 cards. An offer was like $1 on each of them. I countered at $1.25. Then they countered back at like $1.10. And it's not, my time is better spent doing other things than to counter over nickels and dimes. So I'm just going to let it ride out. And, I think that's the thing about offers. And I've talked about this before. I hate negotiating. And that's what I did for 7.5 years in my previous job. That's probably why I hate it, because I had to do it. And it's just annoying because you're quibbling over, dollars. And it's like, this is the rate. And, everybody wants to save money. I want to save money. You want to save money. Everybody wants to save money. But there's a time that we need to stop quabbling. Is quabbling a word? If it's not, I just made it up. We need to start quibbling over a few bucks. It's like, this is the rate. I'm sorry, this is the rate. Well, can you do this much? No, I can't. This is the rate. And even the rate I give is often, like in my previous job, that was like a break-even price, in the general scheme of how we ran business. And it's like, no, this is the best rate I can get. Well, so-and-so got down to, say it's $1,000. I can do $1,000. Well, can you do 900? No, I can't. Well, C.H. Robinson can do 990. It's like, okay. And I had some customers that $7, like, and we're talking out of $1,000 or $2,000, we're arguing over $7. Like, you don't trust and it's almost kind of a slap in the face in a client you've been working with for years, and say it's a $2,000 transaction. Well, they can do it for $1,973. And it's like, we have a 5-year relationship and you're going to walk away over $27 on a $2,000 price tag. And so anyway, and I think that's why I hate negotiating. It's like, I hate countering and all that. It's like, this is a good price already. Just take it or leave it. Soapbox Sunday. You should do 5 sports card lot for $5 for common cards. That's a great point. Ken, Bean's ball card blog, has great success doing, and not commons, but like star lots, like Dan Marino. I'm just looking back at my football cards, like 5 Dan Marino cards for like $5. And that's 5 cards is, you can get those using the standard envelope. And I've thought about that, and I think once I kind of once I slow down on listing singles, when I slow down on listing singles, I think that's especially so I can't run like Chrome or any Chromium Prism type cards through the scanner I have, because it's it stretches the image, so it's not a good picture. So I'm sitting on a lot of Bowman Chrome, a lot of Prism, a lot of Optic, because I can't run them through the scanner, so it's a little slower to list. But I have, like, I put up, I think, some Keldon Johnson Prism. I had like Chandler Hutchison, who I don't think plays very much, but I have like 25 Prism rookies of Chandler Hutchison. It's like $1 a card. Put them up. So I think I'm going to do more of that. So that's a great point. And do them in small lots, 5, 6 cards, maybe 6 cards for $5. Excuse me, 6 cards, $5. That way you're under the $1 per card price point, and you can get those shipped in the standard envelope with tracking and all that. Peep says, are you on sport lots? Not anymore. I stopped selling on sport lots in 2018. So I was a big proponent, and I still am, both buying and selling. There are caveats to sport lots. So I stopped selling on sport lots in I think August of 2018. My wife and I went to Italy in 2018 for our honeymoon, and so I put it on vacation mode, like starting August 1st, because we were gone 2.5 weeks in August of 2018. So and your fees on sport lots for sellers um are calendar month. So August 1st to August 31st, any sales, your fees are based on that window of sales from August 1st to August 31st. So if my store was active from August 1st to August 8th, and then I put it on vacation mode from August 8th through the end of the month, say I only sold like $10 worth of cards, that's like the highest amount of fees, I think. It might be like $5. But anyway, it's a much higher fee. Whereas if you sell over $100 in cards, over $200, the more you sell, the lower the fees. So that's why I always say if you're selling, if you're starting out a sport lot store while you're building, you're scaling up your store, put it on vacation mode, because especially if you start middle of the month, you just lost 15 days of sales where you can get that threshold, you can get that sales threshold up to get those fees down. So boom, take it off vacation mode on the first of the, that way you have a full month to build those sales and get those fees down. So anyway, no, I am not on sport lots because I was spending a ton of time, and this is, you live and learn, and I learned and I lived and I learned, and it was, I had over at one point, which small potatoes compared to some sellers, but I had over 100,000. I think at the most I had 150,000 cards in my sport lot store, but a lot were like early 80s. And I started when I really built up the store, and I actually had a sport lots store probably, gosh, 15 years ago. Um, back when it was like it was a new looking website way back when. Um, but I really started to scale up probably 2015. I had bought one of the first collections I bought when I moved to Wisconsin. It was like 300,000 cards, and there was like monster boxes of 77 tops, 78 tops, 79 tops, all the way to like 85. So it was like pre-junk wax era. So I was and I did really well, especially with like the 70s cards. And so I was listing those, and I think I touched on this yesterday where I was building sets. That's the 78 tops magnet Dale Murphy. That was this collection that I picked up, and then I bought the 78 tops Dale Murphy, and it ended up being a magnet. I looked and I bought him. I legit bought a magnet. I sucked it up and kept it, and then I think I later sold it. But anyway. So I was listing and I was in sorting. We all know how long sorting takes. So I'm sorting 81 tops, 82 tops, 83 Fleer, all of these sets. And I'm just spending hours upon hours sorting. And I mean, I had like 24 cards of each on some hours and hours and hours sorting 82 tops. And I've got 20,000 82 tops in my store, in my sport lot store. And over the course of like 1 year, I sold 4 cards at 18 cents a piece. And it's like, I just spent probably 10 to 12 hours just on those cards alone. And my gross was 72 cents before fees, before, all of that. So, and then what really turned me off was it was getting to the point in August of 2018, before I put it on vacation mode, that I would get orders, and it was almost better. Smaller sales were almost better because I could quickly fill the orders. And it kind of goes against, yeah, bigger orders, more money, but I'd have a 100 card order and they were from 75 different sets, and I'd have to pull, and you have to be super organized, and I'd have to pull, and I'd spend a half an hour, 45 minutes on a 100 card order, and a 100 card order is only $18. And so I'm spending an hour on $18 before fees. And just think about that. I made $8 per hour, or maybe less. So that's why I stopped selling on sport lots, just because, and look behind me, it's hard for me to stay organized. My eBay store, I've been able, outside of some mistakes I make, sorting, because I miss a year or for, Gypsy Queen, I'm having a bear of a time with Gypsy Queen. 2020 and 21 look identical. And I'm finding 2020 Gypsy Queen in my 2021 pile and vice versa. So that's why I stopped. Long story. That's why I stopped selling on sport lots, just because it became more of a hassle. Now, at one time, back in 2016, 2017, before prices spiked, and prices on unopened wax actually started rising significantly in 2018, and I've talked about that quite a bit. 2 years before COVID. But in 2016, 2017, I could buy a case. 2017, I've talked about this a lot. 2017 Bowman, my case was like, was it $797 was my case of 2017 Bowman. And I sold a ton on sport lots, and I could usually make back on a case of cards 30 to 35% selling commons and inserts on sport lots. And then all the hits went to eBay. And even back then, buying a case and splitting it out like that was hit or miss. Topps Heritage one year, I did really well, and made probably $500-$600 on a $800 case. Basically doubled the money. But then Bowman, I took even at $800 on a case of Bowman in 2017. I lost money. And then you go in the next case, you make $100, and I tracked this for about 6 months, and my margins were really slim. It's like, because I was testing it at this time. I mean, this is going back. I started my previous job in 2014. And this is already in like 2015, 16. I'm already like looking for my exit strategy. Like, can I do this? Can I do this? And I couldn't. It just ripping and flipping cases at my level at that time just wasn't feasible. Rick asks, let's see. Love the regular show when I'm up early enough. Happy to catch the last bit today. Peeps, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Rick says, do you set up at shows around the Chicago area? I do. So, Rick, I actually promote a show here in Madison, Wisconsin. So I don't know how far you are from Madison, but my next show is January 29th. The Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. So next show, January 29th, February 26th, March 19th, and I have a show every month next year. I don't have a December date locked down, but I'll probably do a December show next year, because I had so many people inquire this year, because with Christmas, it would have been a quick turnaround from my last show to it would have been this weekend. And I also set up at the card show in Rockford. So there's a show in Rockford at the Rock Church on Harrison Avenue. So those are pretty much the only two shows I set up at, my show in Madison and then the Rockford card show. And then I'll walk shows. I did set up in Schaumburg last summer, but I didn't have much success sales wise. And it was I had to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm a morning person, but that was a little too early. DR says, what are your thoughts about Topps opening a shop in Cooperstown with David Adams? I would love to see Topps take a Disney store model approach to card stores nationwide. I think it's cool. I think I don't have any issues with it. I think it's a cool concept. So yeah, I think you had a poll where it was Disney model or local card shop model. I voted local card shop model. Even though I would rather, my local card shop is not a good example of the model I would like to see. But I think it's cool. I've never been to Cooperstown. It's something that at some point, if a former Cub gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, I don't think it's going to be Sammy Sosa for some time. But if like a legit Cub, I know some of the guys coming up in the next few years have been a Cub, have been in a Cubs uniform, but not a traditional Cub. So I would like to check it out. Check out Cooperstown. Never been, because I love the history of the game. Zach says, funny thing is the Disney store in one of our Milwaukee malls converted to a hobby store. Actually cool. Toys, collectibles, and cards. They even have dime boxes. Nice store layout. That's cool. I will use this opportunity to again remind you that you need an intern. I probably do. especially the more I scale. Right now, I can handle everything, and I'll be able to. And I've been through this, so I'm still under my sales volume that I was at peak in February, March, and I handled that with a full-time job. So I know where that limit is, and I have some time to go before I consider hiring out a part-time employee slash intern. I think Michael Eisner is going to be coming for Fanatics, nationwide retail stores selling Topps, Panini, Fanatics products with great customer service. Do you think opening your own card shop? No. I mean, it's definitely something that I think it's crossed all of our minds at some point in time. It's not something. There's just so much over. I was talking to a friend of mine, my buddy Scott, that I stay with when I go to Club 400. It's just there's so much. I mean, right off the bat, you have your rent. You have I would have to get all of business, cases, cash register, shelving units, just and then you have your water bill, electricity bill. There's just all of that before you even make a penny. So it's just not feasible. I think something that may come along, and depending on my inventory, if I buy a huge collection and don't have space, I'll have to get a heat and humidity controlled storage unit. So that's probably as close to a hobby shop I will ever come. Never say never, but no, it's not in any plans. And you don't want to be tied to it. I don't want to be tied to standalone business where you have even though I use this Monday through Friday platform, this YouTube show, 7 a.m. I start. So that motivates me working from home. That motivates me to, I have to be in the office by 7 a.m., just like a normal job. So it gives me that normalcy. But to have, especially I'm in Wisconsin. So to wake up at a certain time, I have to open the shop. I have to close the shop. Here, I can run to Walmart. I can run to Target. I can go get groceries. I can do this. I can leave for a day. I can go on a day trip without having to worry about a brick and mortar shop because everything is here, and I ship everything, and I can I can stay up late. I can wake up early, and don't have to be married to a brick and mortar shop. Dan says, I'm up pretty late. So you started pretty late. I'm actually coming up on an hour. So I did start late. I started at about 8:45 Central Time. But yeah, later than normal. Usually Sundays. This is my normal Sunday start time. SCA Sports Cards, morning, love listening. Sales are a roller coaster right now. Man, they are. I've talked about this throughout the week where Monday I had poor sales on Monday. And then all of a sudden Tuesday was like, whoosh. And I'm like, hey, things are rebounding. And then Wednesday was crap. And then Thursday and Friday were steady. I've had a good weekend. But overall, my sales are still down. And, I've talked about this ad nauseum where December is going to be your slowest sales month. But I'm still, it's still, so yesterday I had one of my better days. Ooh, just eked out my Wednesday. I had a really good Tuesday. Oh, I had a really good Wednesday. I must have had late sales on Wednesday. So yesterday was my best sales day since December 7th. So in almost 2 weeks, but I'm still down last 31 days. I'm down 16%, which is to be expected. I have a business mentor who came over on Thursday. We talked about things, and I mentioned that, and I'm right at projections. Like I'm right at, this is what I expected for December. But it's like I've really been hustling to add more and more inventory, because the more inventory you add, the more sales. And even though it's a slower month, it's going to raise that floor. So it's still, but I'm right where I expected to be. No matter what type of sales you're in, you always want that number to be higher. But I just need to keep that in mind. This is December. This is where I'm at. Just keep hustling. That's why last night, my wife was call the midwife. And this is, if you followed along to my show, my disdain for Yellowstone. Call the midwife is even Call the Midwife is, I'd rather watch Yellowstone than Call the Midwife. So my wife was watching Call the Midwife, and I'd been in the basement all day. It's like I need to come up for some fresh air. And Call the Midwife. It's like, okay, I'm gonna call the eBay store, and I went into my office and turned on an old Saturday Night Live and listed some cards on eBay. Just because it's like I don't like to sit still, and if she's gonna watch a show I don't want to watch, it gives me a chance to, I'm gonna go put some stuff in my eBay store. So I've got that going. Low Roller says start selling sports cards on flea markets each week if you don't have any card shows in your area. I'm gonna stick to my 2 a month. I do. I run a show here in Madison once a month. I set up at the Rockford show once a month. So those two, I don't want to commit to every weekend. I want 2 weekends a month where I can do whatever I want. And I really don't see with what I'm selling, it's not really worth my time to really go on the circuit every week. Because I'm not selling, I'm selling bargain box stuff. So selling a few $100s is a good day. So I don't want to, but I can spend the day listing, and that's going to be a better return. So what I take to shows and what I would take out it's not worth me selling on a weekly basis. So let's see. Diego says hobby shops are harder than most would think. My old LCS guy is making more doing shows and online and little overhead. Yeah, that's the thing with, I think with having a brick and mortar shop, the biggest thing is having those getting wax, which you can't, if you opened up a brick and mortar today, you can't get allocated any wax. So that's the key in having a shop is that wax. That's where you make the money. So exactly on point. Hopefully after the new year, a lot of your listings will sell. Is it free, or do you pay when the month auction ends and is relisted? So with my eBay store, I have I think it's called the premium store. I receive 51,000 technically, 51,000 free buy it now listings. And so they just kind of go, and I'm not to that point yet. That's the goal. Hit that in October of next year. So they charge me, I think it's $60. I pay the year up front to get that. It's like a $15 a month discount. But I understand if you're testing it out, just do the month by month just to get a test. So I pay, I think it comes out of my account, my managed payments account on either the last day of the month or the first day of the month. So it's just, I'll see the $60 come out. And I don't have any charges on insertions. The final value fees come out automatically with the transaction, and any promoted fees. So those come right out. So what's going into my account, and also shipping. I think the standard envelope is not taken out until it's marked delivered. So that's actually good. So but bubble mailer, regular shipping, postage, that comes out right away also. So all of your fees are taken out up front, which that's what I love about managed payments the most, is all of those fees come out. So what's being deposited into your bank account is your net, minus taxes, your income taxes, and whatever you have in the inventory. So it's a really good gauge on, okay, I know I sold a card for $20, but I know I only paid $5 for it, and my net was $15 or $14, whatever it was, and that's my net profit. Would you ever do consignments when a majority of your inventory is listed? Again, never say never, but probably not. I have so much inventory that, and I'm always accumulating more. I haven't done a show this month, but I'll be at the Rockford show the second week in January, and my since I went basically all of December without buying anything, I'll probably buy more. I have a dealer that sets up at my show every month. He has bargain boxes, and at the end of the show, And actually last month at the beginning of the show, I bought him out. And he gives me a good price, and I have great inventory to put on eBay. So I think I'm always going to be, and that's just my bread and butter. I've focused on buying low, and selling a little bit higher, not selling high because it's low dollar items, but I'm able to, I've gotten good enough to where I know what a good price is to then resell and make some profit. But consignments have never. I have a friend who has uh, had some cards sent to a couple different consigners, and it's almost like it's every person is different. Their personalities are different. What they want is different, and consigners, usually have their way of doing things. And sometimes there's just, it's like, this isn't working, or there seems to be a complaint about how things are being handled, and it's just, I don't want to go down that path. So consignments have never really interested me. If it's like a friend that has, higher value stuff that's not in say it's a family friend who, okay, I've got all these cards in the basement, help me sell them. If it's 91 Fleer, sorry, take it to Goodwill. But if it's like, grandpa's collection from the 50s and 60s, okay, let's see what we have here, kind of walk them through, this is what we can do, and do that. But only if it's like a family friend, a friend, something like that. So, but never say never. But again, probably with the brick and mortar, probably not, just because my focus, my niche is just buying bargain boxes and cherry picking out of bargain boxes, and then doing the flip. Do you have a ComC account? I have a ComC account, but I don't list anything on ComC. In fact, I've probably only used ComC twice. Again, I think ComC is a great platform. It's just not for me. Kind of like Sportlots. I think Sportlots is great for both buyers and sellers, as long as it fits you as a buyer or seller. And same with ComC. There's a lot of success stories with the flips on ComC. I've found great deals. I've found back when I was collecting Dylan Cease Cubs cards, when he was still in the Cubs organization, I would find Dylan Cease Bowman Chrome color parallels far cheaper on ComC than what you can find on eBay. So in many instances, there's great deals to find on ComC. Are you going to buy a box of A&G Chrome to rip? No. I'm just Chrome. Allen and Ginter Chrome doesn't appeal to me. I don't think I bought any last year. I didn't buy any last year. I bought the black a box or two of the black. X Ginter X a couple year last year or 2 years ago. But the next wax that I probably will buy that will be released, Elite Extra Edition and Bowman Draft are probably the next two products that I'm most interested in, and I'll probably just do breaks for Cubs, depending on checklists. And those are typically the only products I buy breaks on. Bowman Draft and Elite Extra Edition, and they come out like the same week usually. It's too much of a gamble for those their prospect products. So it's a gamble, and I don't want to buy the wax. So the next wax I probably buy outside of running to Target and picking up some blasters is probably Topps Flagship. And I haven't decided if I'm going to buy a case or not. I'm just going to get through December and then probably the first couple weeks in January. And if I do, I know Wander Franco is going to be in it. So it's going to be kind of a chase product, a chase product is as far as Flagship goes. Kind of like last year, there was a lot of rookies. They didn't have the rookie seasons we'd all hoped, but I may buy a case of Topps Flagship just because I say now, and this happens every year. November, December, you're kind of like it's the dog days of winter, and baseball is like on the least, is just kind of way down. And then by January, you start kind of get that taste for baseball again. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy any Flagship. And then all of a sudden it's release week, and I start seeing all of these rips. And it's like, oh man, and there's nothing like, and still to this day, you know, I started collecting. My first pack I opened was in 1988, and to this day, I still, the first pack of Topps flagship I open is like opening a pack when I was 6, 7 years old. Um, there's just something about it. The very first pack of cards you open in a year, I still get those same feelings, excitement that I did when I was a little kid. You know, getting a pack of cards when my mom went grocery shopping or my dad brought home from getting some Keystone. So I love that first pack. So um, and Topps flagship's a great it's a great it's Topps flagship is so unique. It's unlike any other product in terms of flipping because at release everybody wants it. Everybody in the baseball collecting community wants it. It sells really good for about a week, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, and then by the time you get to Black Friday, you know, the hobby boxes that were say $120 at release are now on sale for like 60. They're half price. So it's the perfect get in, get out. And most products are like that. First week after release, they're fire, and then they kind of go down. Except, you know, you have your Bowman products where it's first week it's great, and then it's not, 2 years go by, and then all of a sudden it's fire. So I've gone over an hour. Didn't expect this. Had some great chat, so I appreciate. Wouldn't have gone this long. But we had some great questions, great conversation in the chat. I appreciate that. Have a great Sunday. Diego, good luck in fantasy football playoffs this week. Herman, enjoy those grandkids. Have a great Sunday. Back tomorrow, regular scheduled time, 7 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. And we'll chat tomorrow.